The movie kicks off with a dentist, Dr. Freddie Ginwala, a shy and socially awkward guy, eagerly awaiting for his date at a cafe. Despite searching for a soulmate for 5 years through matrimonial sites, Freddie is still unmarried and hoping for the perfect match. Soon, a beautiful girl arrives, and although Freddie spills water in his excitement, she doesn't mind, and Freddie returns home and spends a lonely night painting planes with his only friend Hardy, a little turtle. His grand aunt Persis learns about his unsuccessful date, so she calls to check on him. Turns out Freddie lost his parents at an early age, so he's all by himself now. The next day, he gets a call from a woman who claims they're a perfect match, having found his number on a dating app. They plan to meet, and Freddie suggests meeting at the Blue Cafe, his usual date spot. Expecting a new chance at love, Freddie waits with a beautiful bouquet, but the woman never shows up. Instead, he's ridiculed by a group of friends who mock him for his appearance and outfit. Here, Freddie realizes that the youngsters impersonated the girl and deceived him. In the next scene, he reluctantly attends a function with his aunt Persis, who urges him to find a girlfriend. She then looks around and points out a pretty lady nearby, suggesting he approach her. Freddie is also captivated by her beauty and decides to give it a go. He musters the courage to approach her, but instead of starting a conversation, his nervousness leads him to inquire why she's staring at him. The beautiful lady clarifies that she wasn't staring, and right then, her husband arrives. He thinks that Freddie is flirting with his wife, so he attacks him. Our poor guy doesn't react to this, but he is clearly hurt. The next day at work, the same lady from the party visits Freddie at his dental clinic. She introduces herself as Kainaz Irani and apologizes for her husband's behavior. She reasons that he becomes overly possessive when he gets drunk. Moving on, Freddie performs a regular scan of her mouth and schedules her for a tooth extraction. After the checkup, Kainaz notices a picture of Freddie's mother, Ruby, a famous cellist, and claims to know her. She also shares that Ruby inspired her to play the instrument. This revelation deepens Freddie's feelings for Kainaz, and he envisions a future with her, creating a family in his imagination. The next day, Kainaz visits the clinic as scheduled, and Freddie prepares for the procedure. After the woman falls unconscious, he gets close to her and expresses his feelings. Freddie then successfully removes Kainaz's wisdom tooth and advises her to return for a checkup the following day. Before prescribing her the medicine, he asks her about allergies. Kainaz replies that she's allergic to dishwashing liquid and various other items, and frequently needs to consume anti-allergic medicine. After she leaves the clinic, Freddie looks into Kainaz's medical history and extracts her address. He then secretly follows her outside her apartment. On the other hand, when Kainaz reaches home, her husband Rustam violently beats her, blaming her for roaming out. Freddie, who has been observing them from his car, gets enraged but can do nothing to protect Kainaz. That night, he has a traumatic dream about his parents. It is at this moment we get to know how they passed away. Freddie's father found out that Ruby was having an extramarital affair, so he shot her and later killed himself. Freddie was a little kid at the time, and he witnessed all this right in front of his eyes. This incident deeply affected him, and it's the reason why he's always so nervous and shy. The next day, Kainaz fails to show up for her scheduled checkup. Concerned, Freddie calls her, urging her to visit so he can check her healing wounds. Kainaz is hesitant because she's scared of her husband, but after a lot of insisting, she eventually agrees to meet in a nearby park. Later, during their time together, Freddie notices fresh wounds and marks on Kainaz's face. When he asks about it, she reveals Rustam's abusive nature in detail. She fears that he might do something bad to her if she tries to run away. In response, Freddie consoles her and suggests she stay strong. After meeting Kainaz, Freddie's life has completely changed. He starts buying new clothes and also gets a fresh haircut. The two start meeting each other frequently and even go out sometimes. One day, Freddie waits for Rustam to leave and calls Kainaz. He then expresses his feelings to her and proposes a movie date. Surprisingly, she accepts without any hesitation, and the two visit a theater. They come closer during the movie, and Freddie finally kisses Kainaz. However, after the kiss, she does not speak a word and leaves immediately. The next day, Freddy tries to contact Kainaz, but she doesn't reply. After his multiple unsuccessful attempts, our boy gets concerned and visits her apartment. There, he discovers that she has been beaten by her husband again. Kainaz also mentions that Rustam has threatened to kill her if she ever went out of the house. In an attempt to offer comfort, Freddy proposes marriage, but Kainaz reminds him that she's already married. However, she hints that she might have considered him if she were single. Later at night, Freddy talks to his aunt and tells her that he's found a girl and is planning to marry her soon, but he hides the fact that the girl is already married. Later in his dream, he again gets visions of himself getting married to Kainaz and living a happy life. The following day, a desperate Freddy decides to confront Rustam once and for all. He meets Kainaz and proposes an extreme solution, killing him. She is initially hesitant, but he somehow manages to convince her by saying he'll handle everything. Freddy then asks her not to contact him for a week until the task is completed. He takes out his father's gun and plans to shoot Rustam. Later that week, Freddy waits for Rustam outside his home and starts following him. As he doesn't have much experience using a gun, he changes his plan and opts to hit Rustam with his car. Freddy mercilessly runs over him 3 times, killing him on the spot. Afterward, he cancels all of his appointments and retreats to his family's farmhouse in the village for a week, far away from the city. While the police investigate Rustam's death, Freddy diverts his attention by engaging in charitable work for the local villagers. He spends a week there and, before returning to the city, gets his car fixed. In the next scene, Freddy arrives at Kainaz's apartment and rings the bell. To his surprise, a handsome young boy named Raymond opens the door. It turns out Raymond is Kainaz's secret boyfriend, and he asks Freddy to leave. At this moment, Freddy learns that Kainaz used him to eliminate Rustam from her life and get his restaurant business. She threatens him to stay away from her or else she'll report his secret to the police. Freddy tries to approach her and explain the situation, but Raymond stops him. The latter then beats him up and Kainaz humiliates him, claiming he's a freak who will never be loved. Dejected, Freddy returns home where he breaks down in tears. The following day, he destroys all the dresses he bought for dates with Kainaz. He then visits her restaurant and orders a drink. He stares at Raymond and Kainaz while drinking numerous glasses of the same drink. This annoys the couple, so they finally approach him. Freddy asks for a simple apology from Kainaz for her betrayal. However, this only enrages Raymond, so he threatens to involve the police before forcefully removing Freddy from the restaurant. Fueled by a desire for revenge, Freddy devises a meticulous plan. He lists out all the items that he needs to get rid of Kainaz's phone and her allergies. Next, our boy waits for the couple to leave their house and manages to create a spare key, gaining full access to Kainaz's home. Inside, Freddy mixes sleeping pills with the couple's food. He then adds dishwashing liquid to her face wash bottle and hides her anti-allergy pills. Later at night, while the couple is asleep due to the pills, Freddy infiltrates their room. He deletes all of the evidence from their phones and sends a misleading message to his own phone from Kainaz's. Before leaving, he also slaps an unconscious Raymond several times and empties the brake fluid in their car. Freddy then returns home and spends time with Hardy, patiently waiting for the consequences of his actions. After a while, Kainaz wakes up and screams after seeing her allergic reaction in the mirror. She reaches out for her anti-allergy pills but cannot find them. She and Raymond then rush to the hospital, but sadly, their car crashes due to brake failure. Although they manage to survive, Kainaz accuses Raymond of endangering her life. The next day, while discussing a restaurant issue, they discover an intimate photo posted on Raymond's Facebook account. Kainaz knows that Freddy is behind this, so she decides to confront him. The couple then immediately leave for his apartment where he lives alone. Soon, they arrive at Freddy's house and beat him mercilessly. Unbeknownst to them, Freddy anticipated their visit and had already called the police. During the confrontation, Kainaz manipulates the situation, accusing Freddy of stalking and killing Rustam out of jealousy. However, when the police ask her for evidence, she fails to find anything in her phone. This enrages the officers, so they scold her before making her leave. Afterward, Kainaz and Raymond discuss the situation, and they decide to install CCTV cameras in their house. She also insists that they need to do something to trouble Freddy, and Raymond agrees to it. In the next scene, Freddy returns home to find a bullet on the floor and his apartment completely demolished. Realizing that Kainaz and Raymond are involved in this, he calls them and ensures them that he got their message. He also reveals that he left a snake in their apartment. As soon as Kainaz hears this, she begins to panic. The couple then searches for it everywhere, but fails to find it. Hence, they opt to stay at a motel for safety. From the motel room, Kainaz calls Freddy, suggesting he check his CCTV footage for something important. She also hints that the turtle soup they ate was delicious. Shocked, Freddy searches for Hardy and immediately checks the CCTV footage. To his utmost horror, he discovers that the couple killed his pet. This shatters him, as now his only friend is gone. So he decides to seek proper revenge from the couple. The next day, Freddy buries Hardy's belongings and asks his workers to empty his farmhouse for a week. He also pays a homeless man to falsely testify about Rustam's murder, providing his own license plate number to the police. After getting the information, the police visit Freddy's clinic and interrogate him about his car. In response, he cleverly lies that Raymond used his car to kill Rustam. He presents false messages and CCTV footage of the couple breaking into his apartment. Satisfied with the evidence, the police then contact the couple, urging them to visit the police station. The scene then shifts to Freddy driving his way to his farmhouse. On his way, he calls Kainaz, offering to take back the accusations if they apologize to him at his farmhouse. The couple agrees, and Freddy asks them to bring a suitcase for him. Unbeknownst to him, they are actually planning to kill him. Soon, the couple arrives at the farmhouse and Freddy welcomes them. He offers them drinks and places a gun on the counter. Kainaz pretends to be scared and apologizes to Freddy, but at an opportune moment, she approaches him and snatches his gun. She then points it at him and prepares to finish him off once and for all. But to her utmost shock, the gun is empty. Freddy then brings out his taser and incapacitates the couple one by one. When they regain consciousness, they find themselves bound to chairs in the farmhouse. With a sadistic look in his eyes, Freddy reveals a dentist's kit, reminiscing about a painful time when tooth extractions were performed without anesthesia. Meanwhile, the cops grow suspicious as the couple hasn't arrived at the police station on time, so they decide to embark on a search for them. Back at the farmhouse, Kainaz tries to frame Raymond as the mastermind behind their actions, including Hardy's demise. To verify her claims, Freddy brings out his mother's cello and challenges her to play it. But Kainaz has no idea on how to play a single chord, and this exposes her lie. Freddy is now certain that she too is involved in all this. Following this, he ties Kainaz back to the chair and proceeds to extract every tooth from Raymond. During the process, the latter screams in pain and soon passes out. Freddy then carries his body and buries him in the backyard. After that, he returns to torture Kainaz, plucking her teeth without anesthesia. She too passes out, and our boy buries her body beside Raymond's. In the last scene, he admits that he still loves Kainaz, but their relationship got destroyed due to her own mistake. The movie then ends with Freddy lying between the two buried bodies.